And we're here now with Oscar-winning actress Natalie Portman. She's on a personal mission with her new project, writing and directing and starring in A Tale of Love and Darkness, based on the powerful bestseller. And we want to start with a clip of the movie. You played the mom in this, talking to her son about something really, really important. Take a look.
אם אתה צריך לבחור בין לשקר או להעליב, תבחר להיות נדיב. מותר לי לשקר? לפעמים, כן.
Wow. Telling her son when it's okay to lie. Great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Mom, director, actress, writer of this new project of yours. But I want to go back to when you originally read the book, because you were saying, Natalie, that you could envision it the moment you were reading it.
Yes, I read the book for the first time almost 10 years ago when it came out in translation, and immediately I started seeing the film in front of my eyes, and I knew that had to be my first film to direct, because it was so immediate in my mind.
But this particular story reminded you of the stories you'd been told as a child.
Yes, it was so similar to so many of the stories I'd heard growing up, because my family's from my father's side is from Israel, and so I had heard so many stories about my grandparents as refugees from Europe in the 30s, late 30s, coming to Israel, and which was then British mandate Palestine, and it's just that shock of what it is when you're an immigrant going to a place that is not anything like you expect it to be.
And to decipher between what was reality and what were these stories that were picked up and expanded upon over time. I know you wanted to make this, and you went out and you thought, I'll find someone to help write this. And over time, people had heard your idea for it and said, why don't you just write it?
Yeah, it was actually really empowering, because I kept thinking, oh, I'll find someone, a professional writer to write this. And I kept meeting with people, and they said, you know how to do this. Like, you're explaining what you want. And so eventually I adapted it myself.
Not only did she write this, folks, she starred in it. You also directed it. And I'm curious, when you're directing yourself, how much have you taken from other directors that you've worked with in the past to then help the actors who are on the set? And is it easier to direct yourself?
So I thought it would be harder than it was, because there's actually something easier when you watch yourself and you want to change something. You don't have to figure out the words to use to explain it. You just do it. You know what you want. You just do it. Whereas with other actors, you obviously have to find the language that will help them. And I definitely took from directors I worked with in many ways. Anthony Minghella, who I worked with on Cold Mountain, would have actors opposite you like change their lines, and I would do that with the actors sometimes, where when you're off screen you can say something that shocks them or scares them. There was a time when I wanted the little boy to be excited running out, and I would tell him, like, there's an ice cream truck outside, and he'd just light up and go out.
We just have a few seconds left, but your little guy is 5, and you've embraced motherhood in the same way that you embrace all of your work. I wonder how it helped you on the set as sort of the director in charge of everyone and making sure that everyone's taken care of.
Well, it is actually quite a parental role, I think, being a director, because your job is to make everyone comfortable, make sure everyone's okay, and also get the best out of them. Like, how can you encourage them and support them to get the best out of them, which is very much a parental role.
Well, Natalie, great to have you back on GMA. Thanks for coming in this morning. And A Tale of Love and Darkness in select theaters. Sienna Miller with us here this morning, especially when you find out what's coming tomorrow for her. She's in the middle of quite a year this year, a big screen revival starring in 2 movies, multiple Oscar nominations for those movies. Catcher. She's got, 8 films in the works? But tomorrow night is the big night for Sienna, because she opens on Broadway as Sally Bowles in Cabaret, and that is daring. Welcome, Sienna Miller. I mean, I was asking you, do you even rehearse today, or is that it?
No, I'm done. That's it.
Are you nervous?
I am beyond nervous. I am a ball of anxiety.
And what I love is the fact that you do have all these films lined up. I mean, you're having an amazing time your career, and yet I read that you hunted this part down. You said, who comes after Emma Stone?
Yes, I did. I suddenly had this urge. I think it was watching Birdman. I suddenly had this urge to get back in a theatre, and And I'd worked with the Roundabout before, and a movie I was supposed to do got pushed, so I had this time and any excuse to be in New York. But it's such an iconic part. And
you've been on Broadway before, but you've never had a leading role where you're singing virtually the entire performance.
No.
Are you a singer? No. This just in.
I can. I hope
Yeah.
I can sing. I can sing in tune. I hope.
But that's the thing about
I'm
Sally
pretty
Bowles, right?
confident.
She's not supposed to be.
But exactly, it's really a role for an actor who can sing a bit, and she should not be brilliant, and she shouldn't be trained. So any mistakes are passable and fine.
Yeah. Did you hear that all, reviewers?
Yes, everybody.
You are going to be amazing. A lot of people think of Liza Minnelli back in the movie, or the early 70s when that movie came out, because she had such a booming voice. But again, when you read the book, Sally's supposed to be sort of a typical woman.
She's in the book she's supposed to be bad.
Yeah.
Sam Mendes' version, which is what we're doing, is she can sing a bit, but she's not going to go on and become anything with it.
Well, you were amazing in Foxcatcher, but I was talking to you in the break. Stunning in American Sniper as Chris Kyle's wife. Almost unrecognizable until you get halfway through the movie and you realize that's Sienna. Have you been taken by how the movie's been received here in this country?
It's really overwhelming, and it's really touched people on a level that I could never even have imagined. And it's wonderful. I'm just thrilled to have been a part of it.
You talk about one of those scenes where you tell him he's overseas, that he's having a boy. And that one of the most difficult scenes of the movie, because you go from...
It was sort of a 10-second gap of entering a moment. It was all on a Steadicam and being elated, kind of the happiest you've ever been, because it's great news that we're having a son, and then having to dissolve into hysteria because there's an ambush that I overhear on the phone. So it was just a very difficult thing to do, because obviously there was no gunfire that I was reacting to. It was hard. It was really
a heavy movie, but you brought such a human component to it. And given the fact of what you're taking on tomorrow, I love how honest you've been. That you said you had a nightmare, at least one nightmare already, right? Where you're wearing a chef's hat.
No, well, it's a really saucy part, and there are gorgeous costumes. And in one of the scenes, I do this dance. It's for Mine Hair, and I'm in this kind of sexy black cap. But I had this dream that I did the first show, and my boyfriend came back and said it was really underwhelming.
Underwhelming
was the word he used, and he was like, "You've got to pick it up." Alan Cumming wouldn't look me in the eye, and then the dresser. Everybody keeps telling me how lovely the dresser is, and she is, but she made me do the dance the next time in one of those huge white chef
just to make
hats, and I woke up like. Anyway, yes, it's all happening.
In just a few seconds left. Alan Cumming's amazing too, and I'm sure he's been a great partner to work with on stage so far.
We haven't actually rehearsed together.
You haven't? So tomorrow night?
He shoots a show in the day and he's doing the show every night, so tomorrow night will be the first time I'm on a stage with Alan Cumming. And I can't wait, but it's daunting.
Well, nothing like building up the nerves with us here in front of millions.
Yeah,
we wish you the best of luck. You've had an incredible year, and thanks for coming the day before Cabaret opens with you. And again, it's Sienna Miller. You can see her on Broadway in Cabaret. It starts tomorrow night until the show closes in March, and best of luck. Check it out. So we're going to break this down with Anna and Aubrey.
Super fans.
Break it down now.
Let's break it down.
Well, we're super fans, but also the guys all look exactly alike. So it's difficult to tell them apart.
Keep them apart.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you about Chad, though. I mean, is there anything redeeming about him?
I don't even want to date a guy unless he's willing to kill and dismember people. So
he's out.
So Chad sounds like a great match for me.
But he admitted he would say or do anything to get his way.
That's the kind of ruthless behavior I look for in a husband. So, yeah, just sort of violent, frightening behavior.
I think Chad had a lot of good points. And I don't know, I kind of liked him.
He should stay on the island, right?
Yeah. I would want him on my team if I was surviving the island.
All right, we're supposed to ask you about Robbie now. How can you tell if a guy really does have someone else on the side? I mean, she was wondering, is he playing her?
I feel like you need to be the girl on the side.
Yeah, that's always more fun.
That's how you make sure that he doesn't have a girl on the side. You're also the girl on the side, just in a wig.
Just...
Also, just check his phone and...
Rifle through his belongings.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost him.
Bye.
That's the next question.
Jordan, there's one more. What did you have to do to convince her that he's really in this for the right reasons?
Right.
Well, Jordan was in Pitch Perfect 2 with me. Not a great dancer.
The one in the leather jacket?
He's the one.
Right.
He's the one with the haircut and the eyebrows and the face.
Right.
That
He's
one.
got a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Really good hair.
All right. Our thanks to the girls on the side, right here. The Bachelorette airs Monday
Are
nights.
you one of the guys?
At
Are you one of the?
7 Central. No, I
You're
keep
not
my
on the
clothes
show.
on.
Kind of look
This is
a
a
lot
family
like
show.
them, though. You
I do.
kind of look like one of the Bachelors. Yeah.
Okay, this is where this
You
starts
do.
to go.
Okay. Just saying.
Are you
But listen-
Chad? Is that
Yeah,
which
I'm
one?
Chad.
You're
Chad.
Chad.
Nice
oh,
to see
so
you.
nice
Good
to
to
meet
see
you.
you.
Let's go out sometime. Let's go out sometime.
Anyway.